The Buffs drop another home heartbreaker, and the Broncos get ready for the Commanders. Welcome, everyone, to the Big Al and CJ podcast. It is
Thanksgiving week.
It's Thanksgiving week, man. And so I come in peace.
So do I, man.
Yeah.
I mean, so many things to be thankful for. I mean, it's
so
just,
many things to be thankful for.
It's just a pleasure and a treat to be able to say that we made it to another Thanksgiving.
How about that?
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it, man. You kind of set the stage. The big fella set the stage earlier. He came into the studio. He's like he was floating, man. He had a piece about him that I hadn't seen in weeks, man. And so I'm looking forward to having a fun, loving conversation about all things, everything, you name it. And we'll even talk a little bit about how you get out on Thanksgiving. Like,
okay, that
what's
sounds
your
great.
staples?
Yeah, you know what, man? You know, every year it's changed. But I'm happy to share that with you whenever you want.
And by the way, wait a minute, man. You're way too accommodating, man. I don't
what
like
do you
it.
mean?
I don't like it. I'm
What's
just letting
going
you know
on?
right now. I don't
Should
like
I be
it.
more confrontational?
We should be how you always are. By now, you would have dropped at least one F-bomb. You'd have
No.
called me an ass. Okay,
no,
all right. It is Thanksgiving week, man. But we'll talk. And by the way, I got to give him the big fella some props. This dude is one of the best cooks. Can I call you a chef? You mind if I call you a cook? You're a cook.
I don't know if I'm a cook either. I'm a home cook, I guess.
You're a home cook.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, man, my mom, Mary Lou, I thought it was the best cook ever.
Oh, she was fantastic, along with Dorothy.
Absolutely.
My
Dorothy,
mom.
That's exactly right. These women could put it down like no one else. And the thing that was amazing about it, and this is what you got from, you did a lot of switching in the kitchen, I could see, like my brother Chris.
You got to watch how you say that, switching in the kitchen.
I'm just saying, man.
You know, one thing about me and Chris that we have in common is that we sat there and we watched.
That's right.
We sat there and watched, and we asked questions, and we carried some of those same recipes forward for the whole family. So,
no doubt,
it's fantastic. I mean, I watched my mom. You know, my mom's favorite meal was, the meal that everybody expected my mom to make for Thanksgiving was banana pudding. You know, like a great banana pudding was what she was really, really known for. And I sat there with her, and we made the banana pudding at least 3 or 4 times before I start making it. So I have that recipe down, and it just reminds. Every time I go into the store, though, I got to tell you, Black. Every time this time of year I go into the store and I start to do my shopping, I feel like breaking down.
Yeah, you're getting this. That's nostalgic.
Oh my God, I feel like breaking down because I want to say, is this the right cornbread mix? Is this the right way I do this? Or how much butter am I going to need? Because it's always by feel. It's not by really measurement. So this time of year for me is really a great time of year. It's reflective, but also a bit sad.
I totally get it. Thanksgiving is always that holiday. That's the family holiday. There's no pressure, no gifts. You just come as you are, relax. It's all about eating and watching football. Fellowship. I don't even come out of my PJs, man. I mean, it's one of those days, man, that I just love. And here's the thing I'm gonna say about that before we gonna get to some sports and other stuff. Trust me. And again, we come in peace. So I look forward to a fun-loving, peaceful show. But here is the other thing that you and my brother Chris both took from our moms. You guys, like, I could pop up at Big Al's crib at noon on any given day, and there's nothing on the stove or any apparent meal that's been prepared. And within 45 minutes, I could have a full 5-course, 6-course meal. And I'm like, how the hell did this happen? That's classic Miss Dorothy and Mary Lou, man.
That's right. That's right. Whatever you have in your closet or pantry, we had just had. I didn't know it was called a pantry until I got to Colorado.
Yeah, that's fancy. That's fancy.
It was a closet. You had one door that had.
Because we didn't have pantries, we had closets.
You had a closet where you put everything in it that wasn't that didn't belong on the countertop.
That's right.
So I mean, it was a lot of things that you can throw together to make a good meal. And as long as you got your protein rolling, you can make some good things happen.
No doubt about that. Hey, we'll get to that. We'll have a full breakdown on what's on the Thanksgiving Day menu at our respective places. But got to talk about another sort of heart-wrenching effort by Colorado Buffaloes. 42-17, the final score. 21 of those 42 points scored by Arizona State came in the fourth quarter. That game was, I'm like, I'm watching the game, and it was nip and tuck. See, you had a shot in the third quarter to take the lead, and the bottom fell out with turnovers and scoring position. That was mind-boggling. Here's my takeaway. I don't want to listen. It is what it is at this point. We know the season has been terribly disappointing for Buffs fans. Looking forward to 2026. But my takeaway, and Coach Prime echoed the sentiment, is there has to be changes in his staff. He has to get an offensive coordinator that understands college football, route concepts, etc. Those types of things drives me crazy as I'm watching the game, because I'm not clear exactly what they're trying to do with their route concepts that makes reads easy and clean for the quarterback. That being said, just another tough one to have to digest, man.
Yeah, and another thing that just kept on jumping out on the broadcast as you went back and watched it, so many Colorado players are around the country playing that used to play for Colorado, that are in big time roles and positions in other universities, and it's happening. It happened to us again. Well, just last week against Arizona State is going to happen again this week at Kansas State with the running back. I mean, it's just you just start to see the attrition start to show itself in a different way when you shake down the entire roster. But I think you need to have your guys if you want to win the games that you think that you can win. With that being said, you know, the talent level that we have, I don't think is much different than the opponents. The coaching has not been good. I'm one call it like it is. Okay, the coaching has just not been good, and I've been saying it for a long time. It's got to change. It's got to change, and it's got to be better. This is not the way it's supposed to look when you are a big time coaching staff and you have the kind of personnel that you have that are position coaches on this roster. They're supposed to be able to deliver talented players for you, and it's just not come together in 2025.
It did not. You're absolutely right about that. And so we'll see as we approach the offseason. One game left against Kansas State on the road in Manhattan, Kansas. Were you ever, I guess Manhattan, Kansas, back when we played, was one of those who gives a damn games. That program certainly, got itself together.
Coach Snyder did a good job.
Did a great job.
Yeah, Coach Snyder did a great job of flipping that program around and making sure that they had the toughness that they need to go out and compete. And I think that's what you have to credit that entire organization with, is taking on the identity of their athletic director / head coach, and that's Coach Snyder. And I think that he has been a presence there that's just been really powerful.
No doubt about it. Really turning that program around in a major league way. So kudos to him. But the Buffs wraps it up this upcoming Saturday. It's a 10 a.m. local time kickoff against Kansas State to finish this thing off. And we'll talk more about that at a later date. Broncos with the bye week in preparation now for the Washington Commanders. The Broncos at 9-2 right now. This past week with the Broncos off, there was some interesting outcomes in games. Of course, Monday Night Football tonight, there's still a little bit of meat on that bone, but Denver's in great shape as they finish their bye, and they're looking forward to the balance of the schedule against a team that's been disappointing this year, to be sure, the Washington Commanders, but an opportunity for the Broncos to put themselves right in the mix for being the number one seed in the AFC.
Yeah, and we talk about coaches, and I have a statement that coaching matters, and there's a lot of praise that goes to great players, but in the NFL in particular, coaching really matters. And Dan Quinn did something that he's apologized for, and that's he'll apologize effusively for, and that's playing his talented young quarterback in a game that had no meaning, and or should I say at a point in the game that had no meaning, and getting him injured for the year. And Dan Quinn is being made to pay for it by not having one of the greatest young quarterbacks that we've seen in the last 10 years in Jaden Daniels. With that being said, the Denver Broncos have to go in there and create an atmosphere of almost intimidation on that program, or should I say that football club, because they have the type of defense that is noteworthy and can make plays. And they have 4 guys that are in the top 40 in quarterback sacks on this team. They get to the quarterback without having the blitz. But if you max protect and you start to use extra guys in the protection, the talented defensive coordinator, Vance Joseph, has shown that he'll bring extra pressure just to make sure that he gets his one-on-ones. He doesn't necessarily want to blitz you. What he wants to do is create one-on-ones for everybody that's staying in and blocking.
And by the way, VJ Vance Joseph was a guest of ours on the Big Al and CJ podcast. If you didn't get a chance to see it, make sure you go back in archives and check it out. A guy who, again, we know intimately well. And, as I think about our time with VJ this past weekend on the show, I'm just reminded of how, I think one of VJ's superpowers as a coach is one, his relatability, his ability to relate to the players, right? Players love him. They play for him. He understands their challenges, understands their strengths and weaknesses, and I think is one of the best in the business of extracting, like a guy like Nick Bonito, right, who came into the league, as a promising young defensive player, but I don't think any of us projected this kind of the defensive dominance. Well, it didn't show itself early in his career.
Oh, it sure did. He just didn't get a lot of snaps. I remember Von Miller in his rookie year, and he was outstanding. And
he was the second pick of the draft.
Yes, he was absolutely.
Yeah,
but in key moments in games, he was subbed out because he was so raw, and he would just not have the same discipline that he has as a 6 or 7 year vet.
Sure.
And I think Nick Bonito was in the same class. I saw him when he was a rookie get a quarterback sack, and the quarterback sack was in like 1.75 seconds. Now listen, if nobody touched you and you had to run and get to the quarterback, that is about as fast as I've ever seen it, whether it's Derek Thomas, Lawrence Taylor, Von Miller.
Give me that number again. He did
1.7. He got a quarterback sack in like 1.75 seconds.
So the ball is snapped.
1001 down. The guy's on the ground. And so that
quarterback ran right to Nick Bonito.
Well, you can say what you want to say. I saw him in the pocket. The tackle wasn't out of his stance, and it looked like he was, possibly could have been outside because he was so fast. And I started telling everybody about it on radio, and I'd have these Denver Broncos sessions where I would talk to the fan base, and periodically they'd have me in, and I would tell them that this is the next Von Miller, and everybody went, "Oh my God, this guy!" And I'm thinking to myself, you just don't understand how many people have that ability. I didn't have that ability. I can tell you offhand the guys over the last 40 years that have played for the Denver Broncos that had that ability. Elvis Dumervil, Von Miller, DeMarcus Ware, and Nick Bonito. That's it. I'm talking about guys that are great players that have played here.
And let me make sure I understand when you say that ability.
The ability to attack the line of scrimmage quicker than anybody else.
Okay, so quickness off the ball.
Quickness off the ball, man. Just straight up quickness off the ball. You just don't see it very often. And I'm a guy that played that position. I was all pro and finished in the top 3 of defensive player of the year, and I did not have that.
Then how would one define your strength?
My strength was that I was good with my hands. I was I could beat you on a touch movement. If I touch you, I could create a move or some kind of action that would get you off balance, and I can get to the quarterback. The guys that I'm talking about just run right around you. Like, it just doesn't happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, DeMarcus Ware beats you that way. Von Miller, by the way, Hall of Famer. Okay, Von Miller beats you that way. Gonna be a Hall of Famer.
Mm-hmm.
Elvis Dumervil Name probably should be in the Ring of Honor at the Denver Broncos, one of the greatest pass rushers that's
Great
ever
player.
played here.
Great player.
And Nick Bonito. That's it. And I'm telling you, maybe you can go back 50 years if you want. It just doesn't happen. If you get a guy like that one time in 20 years, you were lucky. Just think about it. Kansas City Chiefs, Derek Thomas.
Yeah.
We've seen Lawrence Taylor. How many more guys have they compared to Lawrence Taylor since Lawrence Taylor? None.
Well, there's one now, and we'll talk about him a little later.
But there's not a guy that beats a tackle off the snap of the ball. It just doesn't. I'm telling you, it's one of the, it's one of the rarest things that I've ever seen in football, and for it to happen for us now 4 times with 4 separate players, with DeMarcus Ware and Von Miller playing together on the same team. Man, it's just you just don't see it. Nick Bonito is that guy. And once you see it, you'll never unsee it.
No, he's special to be sure. And on that note, as we talk about defenders, this past week, man, I think I'm beginning to see a little bit of a shift in the league. A shift that balances things out a little bit more. This has been such an offensive league. All the rules, you had to be able to score points. You had to be able to do all those things. I've seen 3 absolutely dominant defenses in the past week that to me is making me look at how, perhaps what direction the league is going, but certainly teams, the way the Houston Texans dominated with almost 0 offense, the way they dominated that game last Thursday against the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen was noteworthy. And then we've been talking about the Denver Broncos and what they've done all year on the defensive side of the ball. And Al, I got to tell you, man, this is arguably the worst, certainly one of the worst teams in the league.
Cleveland.
Oh my goodness, man. Did you see that defense yesterday?
10 sacks. I knew you were going to, I knew you had, if you've been paying attention to quality defense, you got to say that the Cleveland Browns are in that category.
When you can rush the passer the way all of those teams do, it's just a game changer. It's what neutralizes, or at least equalize, the opportunity for a team to win when you have great quarterbacks. Like the kryptonite for a great quarterback is a great pass rush with 4 guys.
Yes.
Because a great quarterback can beat pressure if you have to compromise the back end of your defense by bringing extra bodies.
Right.
But if you can get, and by the way, man, I'm going to make a statement, Al, and I know you're going to agree with me because it's just right, unless you just want to be argumentative. I think we may be witnessing the single greatest defensive performance in the history of the National Football game for a single season. And that's what Myles Garrett is doing right now. I have never seen a guy so consistently destructive on the defensive side. He was probably doubled at least 80% of the snaps, the pass plays yesterday against the Raiders, and they just couldn't stop him. The guy, I've never seen a more dominant defensive season in the history of the league. He has 18 sacks in 11 games, man.
Yeah, it's a huge number. To say that it's the most dominant that I've ever seen.
The most dominant.
I'd say it's up there, but I mean, I haven't really given it much thought about the most dominant.
Well, you need to start thinking your defensive end, man. You need to start thinking about.
Well, I'm thinking about it. I mean, we had a cornerback for the Denver Broncos to win it last year, so certainly it wasn't last year for a defensive lineman.
I'm not even talking about for a defensive lineman. I'm talking about for a defensive player.
I'm just saying, so a guy that could absolutely wipe away your whole. Like you're saying, like Aaron Donald, you're saying Reggie White, you're saying Bruce Smith. Is he in that category? Yes, right now he is. With 6 games left to go, he's going to crush that record.
Lawrence Taylor. I mean, you put all the great defenders in there.
But the thing that the other guys had is that it was coordinated well enough where they got wins out of it.
See that now? That's an interesting point you make. If you're going to hold Myles Garrett to that standard, where the fact that his franchise, year in and year out, one of the worst to ever do it, his defensive productivity isn't translating into wins. It's football. I don't know that you can hold him to that standard. He's not a quarterback.
Yeah, but there's a way that you play defense that can be looked at as a selfish moment, a selfish style. And if that is the case, then you will yield more numbers. I don't believe he plays like that, but I'm telling you, there have been several guys that have played the game and played it for numbers. And the guys that have played it for numbers, that have got numbers in quiet circles, it was disregarded because
He got
numbers, and you didn't play the game the right way. Like Michael Strahan's 22nd sack. How many guys have looked at that and said that's a bunch of bullshit because Brett Favre fell down? How many guys?
I've heard that.
You know what I'm saying?
Argument.
But he got to 21, so that should have been. He plays left defensive end with 21 sacks. That's a great season. That's not a good season. That is one of the greatest seasons ever because it came from a left defensive end.
Yeah.
So I know the 22nd sack was, it was looked at as a gift, but I also look at the 21 and think, damn, that number's huge for a left defensive end.
Well, and here's the other thing about Myles Garrett, and it's interesting because we saw it play out in the game yesterday. Here's a guy who almost never plays a game with a lead.
Right.
And so teams aren't dropping back. He's not getting, and you're big on sack opportunities, right?
Yes,
because teams are throwing the ball more.
Yes.
He never gets the benefit of playing with the lead. He was so giddy in this post-game press conference because he said, man, we had a lead. Like you could see just the energy behind, his get up because he knew that the Raiders had to throw the ball and that he was going to be able to pin his ears back and go get it. And by the way, we jumped right into the subject of Myles Garrett because I think we could very well be witnessing the single greatest season for a defensive player in the history of the league. That said, the Cleveland Browns beat the Vegas Raiders 24-10.
Mm-hmm.
Two teams coming into a game, 2-9. And yet it was the lead story on just about all the sports shows today because of one guy, Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah, he had a fantastic game.
And again, I thought solid game.
Solid.
And if you're grading him on the curve of rookie quarterbacks, it is as good as what we've seen, right? I mean, there's a lot of hoopla around the kid who's a Jackson Dart, who's been up and down, had some moments. Obviously, the first pick of the draft is a guy that shows a lot of promise. But rookie quarterbacks are looked at not just because of outcomes and wins, if you will, but you see things in them. And I've always said I thought Shedeur was the best quarterback in the draft. In a way, it just and listen, this is not a complete picture that's been painted yet, to be sure. That said, in one game, I've seen what I've known we would see from this kid that I still don't get. Maybe I do. But for the sake of this conversation, I still don't get what all those teams in the NFL didn't see to allow this kid to slip to the 5th round at a quarterback position that has so much value in this league. I'm still like, what the hell, man? Make it make sense.
Well, I just don't know. I just don't know how much you really want to know about what I've heard, but we'll talk about it off air and maybe we'll bring it on air some other time. But it had nothing to do with his talent. It was some of it. I can bring this to the floor. Some of it was put out there at the beginning of training camp. It's about the teams that he didn't want to play for.
Okay.
And so you basically so let's just say that there are 16 teams that have their quarterback, at least have their quarterback. Okay. Let's just say that the Tennessee Titans was going to go with Ward.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's 17. Okay, so that leaves you now with
15 teams, right?
15 teams.
Mhm.
Okay, 15 teams, and you're telling people who you don't want to play for.
Okay.
Okay, so that narrows that, that narrows that pool down.
Do you
And once you tell a team that you don't want to play for them, like, Shedeur said something in his post game yesterday that I thought was kind of telling. He said, I got passed on by every team at least 5 times. And I thought to myself, well, for a fact, we know you didn't want to play behind Lamar Jackson in Baltimore. Like, you wanted to go play. So that eliminates. So you can't say there were 31 teams that passed on you 5 times. That team was never going to take you because you didn't want to play behind Lamar Jackson.
Well, listen.
Well,
man.
I'm just saying. I'm trying to get to it so that you understand the mentality behind some of the teams that may have passed on him 5 times.
Well, here's what I'd say.
I don't know how many of those teams were part of that conversation.
Listen, I hear what you're saying, and I think you're touching on a point. I think you're touching on a data point, but in my opinion, missing the broader point.
No, I'm not.
Well, I think you are.
Well, I'm telling you, I'm not.
Well, one of us is right and one of us is wrong, and I think I'm right, and I'm gonna tell
You're
you
usually
exactly.
wrong, and you're wrong right now.
See, you're wrong again about that. But here is the point. There was a certain bravado, there was a personality, there was a standing that this kid obviously had, the nerve to say something like that.
But it's been said before.
Of course, it's been said.
Yeah, I mean, we had Eli Manning saying he would never play for the Chargers.
Listen, it's been said before.
It's been said several times about where guys wanted to play versus or did not want to play versus where they wanted to play.
Here's what teams do, and you know this better than anyone else. In a situation like this, if a team had Shedeur Sanders on their board, regardless of what was said about how he interviewed at the combine or what he said about or his dad said about what teams he wanted to play for, if I'm a quarterback needy team and I see that talent, I'm going to have a conversation with them. Look, Shedeur, we have you here on our board. We want to draft you. We want to make sure that this is a place you want to be. I can guarantee you he would not have said, don't draft me to anybody. It's one thing pre-draft. It's a different deal when someone says, we're going to invest in you to be our guy because we believe that you have that kind of stuff. And here's how it's playing out. Here's how it's playing out. Not only was, in my opinion, I'm not even sure if it's an opinion anymore. It's just playing out as it is. Not only was Shedeur a better quarterback than Dillon Gabriel, but the things that teams were kind of docking him for, the suggestion that perhaps he's selfish, the projection. Selfish. Like
Who said that he was selfish?
Well, I mean, you heard people talking about he's a me guy, right? I don't want to play for that team, or I don't want to do that.
Or was that coming from his camp?
No. I'm saying that was the perception. And what I'm saying to you is one of his, I think, super qualities is how he galvanized guys in the locker room.
Yes.
How guys are rooting for him. They like the guy. They love being around him. It's the type of thing, the quality you want in a quarterback. Those were all the things that he possessed as the starting quarterback at the University of Colorado. And I'm saying if you just watch the guy, that's a quarterback that you want. I believe that listen, I'm just putting it out there. There was an effort for teams that needed quarterbacks. The league said, hey, man, we're gonna show this guy and his family that they don't run the National Football League, because there is no way on God's green earth that this talent falls to the 5th round otherwise. No way, no how. And he ends up in Cleveland. Now, I guarantee you, Cleveland wasn't a desired destination for Shedeur Sanders.
Not when you look at Deshaun Watson and a guaranteed contract. You start looking at Joe Flacco coming back, and then them drafting Dillon Gabriel before him. I mean, that is not ideal for him. No, but somebody in the organization made the call. We know it wasn't Kevin Stefanski. Okay, he has not been a fan of Shedeur at all. But this reminds me of a situation that happened around the National Football League not long ago, and that situation happened with Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow was he was just a lightning rod of opinions about where should he play, when should he get in, is he a winner, is he the starting quarterback, and all of those conversations made every team uneasy, including our very own Denver Broncos here in the Mile High City. So much so that going into Tim Tebow's training camp after he won a playoff game against the Pittsburgh Steelers, John Elway was asked, was Tim Tebow going to be the starting quarterback in the following season? And he said, John said he's going to open up the training camp as a starting quarterback. He didn't say he was going to be the starting quarterback because there is a style that he played with that was not really an NFL style, but his popularity and the drama he created on the national stage was just too big. It was just too big, and teams don't usually want to have, they don't want those type of personalities or instances around them as they're trying to build the football community. They just don't want it.
No.
And Shedeur carries some of that with him. He's got a production team.
Hold on.
Okay.
I hear you. You made your case.
Okay.
You made your comparison. I love you like a brother, right?
Yeah. I'm not saying that he's in the same category as Tim Tebow, and I'm not telling you he plays the quarterback position like Tim Tebow.
Well,
he's a much better quarterback.
Well, you don't have to tell me that.
Much better quarterback. But I'm just telling you that the machine that's around those two have the same energy, and not every team likes that.
May I?
Go ahead.
Okay. Again, I love you like I was when everybody know I love this guy like no other, right? I mean, it's my guy. I mean, we've cried together before, right? He cries all the time.
Several times.
And a lot of times I'm just there for support. But that may have been the single most asinine comparison you've made on this show. And I say that in love, man. God. I say that in love.
Why?
And
Why?
Because I've heard people make that comparison before.
I've never heard that comparison, actually.
I've heard the circus, the attention that
okay, have you ever heard of it, like putting in comparison to Tim Tebow?
Yes, in comparison to Tim Tebow.
You have heard that before.
But here's why the comparison is so ridiculous. Tim Tebow couldn't play quarterback. A quarterback.
I just said that.
I know, but
I just said that. I told you Shedeur is a much better quarterback.
But once you come to that conclusion, then the comparison falls completely apart. It had nothing. If Tim Tebow had the skill of Shedeur Sanders, he would have been the first pick of the draft and would have been still playing in the National Football League.
Still playing right now.
But Shedeur Sanders is a NFL quarterback. Tim Tebow was a project that teams, whoever bought him in, had to figure out how to use him. That's not the case with this guy. And so, please, man, for God's sake, I know it's Thanksgiving week, man, but stop making these ridiculous comparisons.
Wait. I'm not talking about the player. I'm talking about the campaign around the player.
But the candidate, if you want to put in the context of a campaign, you got one candidate that actually knows the law and the policies, and you got one who has no clue. That's what matters. That's the only thing that matters. What the campaign is.
What the hell did we just do just now? Listen, we're talking about football. We're talking about grunts, okay? Guys who spend their waking days and moments in dark rooms with the clicker, going backwards and forward, trying to find every little bit of information that gives them an advantage. This is the most secretive organization as far as leagues go that you can imagine. They don't share draft information. They don't share game plans. They don't share analytical data. Yours is yours, mine is mine, and that's it. So to think that they would want to have somebody that amps up that profile is crazy. That's asinine. It's just not what this league is about. This league is about, hey, Tom Brady, You know what? Tom Brady shows up to work. Hey, he's good. He says cliche. Let's go in there and hey, shake hands and go out there and rip your ass apart. Okay, it's done quietly. It's not done loudly. And so that's what this league is about. And after the game, you give your opponents credit, even though you think in the back of your mind they suck.
Listen, man.
That's what the league wants.
This league is about making money.
Okay.
This league is about entertainment. This league is about TV ratings. This league is about selling paraphernalia, selling gear. This league is a cash cow.
Right. And they have their favorites. Okay.
And that's exactly right.
Okay. The league itself has its favorite list of athletes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They like guys who
current, former, and future that they're looking at. Okay. That are currently playing. Okay, that have played in the past, and those that will come into this league in the future. Those have all been highlighted, and that's how these guys get slotted to become, franchise quarterbacks and franchise players. And once they get to that level, it's accepted and appreciated, and they move those guys forward.
So what you're saying is there is a cultural acceptance of what defines what an NFL quarterback is.
Not a cultural, no.
It is, Al.
No, it's a stereotype. It's
okay, same difference. I'm saying that if you don't fit the mold, then you can't be put in the box as quote unquote how we define, because we're talking about the quarterback position.
Right, man. And we're also talking about how it's leveraged, how the quarterback position is leveraged in the league. The league wants a quiet, unassuming, killer quarterback that they can grow a league around. That's what they want.
So what if you are a loquacious sort of character type quarterback who produces the same as your quiet, unassuming quarterback? Is he less accepted in the league?
Yes.
Despite so you would rather take a bum.
I didn't say me. Don't put this shit on me. I'm just telling you what's happening.
Well, you're defending it.
I'm just saying. I'm not defending nothing. I'm just telling you what it is.
Well, okay.
There's no reason why Lamar Jackson shouldn't be the face of the NFL.
Well, in some circles, who's the face of the NFL?
Patrick Mahomes. He's the champion, right?
And he's earned that. He's earned that with his play.
Well, okay. Where's Lamar Jackson in this conversation?
He's up there.
Three-time MVP?
He's up there.
Where?
Lamar gets his
Where?
love.
I haven't seen him in any national commercials. I haven't seen him.
Oh, yeah, I've seen him.
Yeah,
but
which ones?
Listen, again, Al, I think that's...
I'm telling you, dog.
You're kind of making my point in a way.
Maybe we're making the same point.
There's an acceptance.
Shedeur comes with extra, and it's not on their schedule. It's not what they want. And I'm telling you,
and what's the extra? Like his dad was
it's a production team. It's no different. And I hate to do this, man. I hate to do this.
But I don't hate to do it. Just do it.
I hate to do this, but I'm gonna put it in the same context, okay? And I know this is much different, okay? But it's the same context as a Michael Sam, okay?
Oh damn! Here we go.
Now I'm gonna say it, okay? I'm gonna say this, okay? Michael Sam had a show that he was getting ready to produce and put on Oprah Winfrey's network. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. It was a big time deal for Oprah Winfrey's network. It was a big time deal for Michael Sam. The NFL quietly told him, let's not do this.
I get it.
You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't want this. Let's not do this. And then, Michael Sam, I think, acquiesced to it and said, okay, we're not going to do it. And let's back off of it. Okay, you don't make the team now. You're not going to make any team now, and you're out the league. This is the quiet. This is the quiet
Johnny
way.
Manziel wasn't a very quiet guy coming into the league.
No, but he didn't have a production team, CJ. I'm talking about team. I'm talking about when I say Michael Sam, I'm saying the production team that was going to come with him. Tim Tebow comes with a production team. Shedeur Sanders come with a production team. So these production teams are not wanted or welcome around NFL circles. You know what the most hated part of?
Well, the NFL tells.
Let me tell you something.
Your production team.
Let me tell you something, okay? You know the most hated part about being an NFL coach is when they tell you you have to do hard knocks.
Okay.
NFL coaches hate hard knocks. NFL coaches hate hard knocks. Nobody wants to do hard knocks.
Okay.
Why
do they do it?
Because the league makes them.
Why do the league make them?
Because they don't make the playoffs and I think it's something like you don't make the playoffs in the last 2 playoff seasons, something like that, and it's a formula. It's a whole formula.
But why do the league make them do it?
The league makes them do it because they're in the bottom half of teams. Like you don't see.
No, I'm not talking about how are they selected. I'm saying why do they make them do it? Why can't teams say I don't want to do it?
Because NFL fans are thirsty for it.
And what does that mean? You feed the NFL
but I'm telling you,
fans what they're thirsty for.
I know, but you do it in a more structured way when you can have some oversight of how it's cut and how it's produced.
Totally understand what you're saying.
But I'm just telling you, when you do it on your own, you don't have those same controls.
Listen, it's so interesting, man, because I totally understand what you're saying. They do it because it drives interest and revenue to the league. Okay?
Yes.
So that's why they do it. And
for the
league. And I will tell you this. I mean, it obviously heightens a profile. It could work for the individual players as well. But I'll tell you this as well. There are 14, 15 teams. All the stuff we're talking about, fan interest, the generation of revenue, there are 14 or 15 teams in the National Football League right now who wish they had a Shedeur Sanders in their locker room because I haven't seen the ratings. I guarantee you there's never been higher ratings for 2-9 teams playing a game in the National Football League. And what does that generate? Interest and revenue. The Cleveland Browns play a home game next week against the San Francisco 49ers. I'm looking forward to that game being in prime time. Only because of one guy. You look at all the number 12 Browns jerseys in that stadium and beyond. Here's the other thing. It's not just Cleveland fans. There's a national interest in following in this kid. And again, not just something given. People forget he was I think the best quarterback in the country last year. It's not like he's getting what he's getting because his daddy is prime. Got bought out.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I mean, listen, everything you're talking about has something to do with his dad. Everything that you're talking about, the production team.
Did you like the fact that his dad was in the building for the first game?
I didn't mind. I didn't mind. By the way, what Al is talking about for those who may not have caught it, Coach Prime. Now again, let's put this in context. CU plays on Saturday night. They lose to Arizona State 42-17. Right now, sporting what are we 13? Or I'm sorry, a 3-8 record. One game left. Sunday afternoon, while the Cleveland Browns are playing the Las Vegas Raiders, Coach Prime is in attendance to see his son play his first NFL game as a starting quarterback. I anticipated that some people would have qualms with that, and you asked the question. I'll ask you. Did you have a problem with it?
As a dad, that was a fantastic moment for the Sanders family, for him to be able to be there to see it all the way through from the time that he picked up a football since he was a kid until his time playing in middle school, and then his head coach was his dad. Then he goes to college, his head coach is his dad. He goes from Jackson State to Colorado. His dad is the head coach, and then he plays and starts in his first game as a dad. That's a fantastic moment for the Sanders family.
So you had no problem with it.
But as a Colorado fan, I got to say that I don't believe that there is a head coach that is part of college football or has been part of college football that would have made that decision to make that journey to go see their kid play in the first professional football game.
You don't think that's ever happened?
I want to say this again. I want to say it clearly and clean. As a Colorado fan, I want to say it like this. Looking at big-time football, I don't believe there is a college football coach that would have made the decision during the season to leave his college football team to go and watch his son play in his first game. I don't believe that happens any other place except at the University of Colorado.
I couldn't disagree with you more.
I think, CJ, I challenge you. I challenge you.
No, I'm challenging
challenge you to find another example of where that would happen and where it would be okay.
Listen, first of all, it's probably quite rare that a D1 Power 4 football coach has a kid that's going to start.
You mean like Jack Elway and John Elway?
A head football coach,
okay,
we're talking about, that has a son that's going to start in the National Football League. I'm not certain off the top of my head.
Start. You mean start in college football?
No.
Start. Say this correctly again, please.
Okay, let me say it again. I'd be hard pressed to find a scenario where a college Power 4 head football coach that gets all the recognition and notoriety that they do has a son who is starting an NFL football game as a quarterback for the first time. Now, that scenario in and of itself is extremely unique. There, if five, I don't know how many there are, if any. So first of all, this is a very unique scenario. Now, you said two things. You kind of split the baby on this, Al, and I'm going to need you to be a little bit more.
I'm not splitting the baby. I said it was a fantastic deal for the Sanders family, but
what takes precedent then for you? Because I want you to take a position on
who are you asking me as?
I'm asking you as Alfred Williams. You are two things. You are both a dad and a CU fan. You're conflicted. You said as a dad, it's the most wonderful thing on earth. But as a fan,
there have been several dads that have had to miss work and watch their kid play on television, via just watching it with the rest of the family back at home.
And
there have been several.
And I would imagine
there have been several that have made games. There have been several that have made games.
Yes.
Because they were held on a Sunday and maybe they could get back out on a Sunday night or Monday morning. But to say that you're the head football coach and you're in that situation, I just don't believe that there are many coaches like that that would have made that decision. I can't imagine. First of all, I have to talk about Sunday. Is Sunday an important day in a college football program?
Well, for us, Sunday was an off day.
No, I'm not talking about as a player. I'm asking you as a coach and an administration. Is Sunday an important day?
Listen, I don't know. Different programs, as you know.
Is it a throwaway day? Sunday's a throwaway day.
I don't know. My guess is it's an evaluation day.
It's a throwaway day.
Okay.
I'm asking you. Is it a throwaway day?
As I said, it's probably different for different programs.
Is it a throwaway day?
No, I don't think there are any throwaway days.
So you took a work day and you threw it away.
Why do you say he threw it away?
Well, he wasn't working for it.
Well, here's the deal.
How does that work?
I'm going to tell you exactly how it works, how it likely worked. He got up Sunday morning, probably got on the plane at 1:00 in the afternoon, went to see his kid play. That game ended at about 5:00 Mountain Standard Time, and he was home by 7. That's probably exactly how that worked. Now, again, I think your point is, you're speaking.
Don't tell me what my point is. You don't know what my point is.
Well, I said I think your point is. You can agree or disagree with it when I drop this on you. Your point is you think the optics weren't right.
The optics were not right.
You're not speaking to the substance. You're speaking to the optics. And I hear you. People can have different opinions about it. I get it. There are no right or wrongs in this, but I'm saying, listen, man, you're in an argument with yourself. Daddy versus fan.
I'm not in argument because the CU season is over tomorrow. Next week.
Right.
It's over after this Saturday at 2 p.m.
That's right.
Okay. That the season is over, and so the rest of your fandom could happen on Sunday.
So you have a problem with it?
I have a problem.
Okay. All right. I mean, that's fair.
I have a problem with it from maybe just because I know what this is. I know what this is and guys have, man, we have some friends that are working their asses off right now to get in a situation like Coach Prime has, and they would never think about doing something like that.
I'd be hard. But listen, I'm not going to say what some other parent would never do. And I know you, and I know how much you love those boys and that girl. And here's what I would tell you.
You know what I would have said?
You in the moment, your ass would have been on a plane,
nope.
and you would have went to watch
nope.
Dominique
nope.
or Eric or JT or Chris.
No. That's not what would have happened.
I know better.
No, man. Listen. CJ, this job right here of being a head football coach at a Power 4 school is a dream job to most people who are in this coaching profession. To say that they would abandon it for one day during the college football season, I don't believe that many coaches would make that decision.
See, the language you use is even it's just extra. He abandoned his job to go watch his kid play a football game. I mean, come on, man. Are you really?
Yeah, right. Season over, right?
No.
I mean, but season's over, right? The season's over, right?
I
mean, why does it matter, right? Why does the Sunday preparation matter? Why does it matter?
Anyway, man.
No. Why does it matter? You tell me why it matters.
It matters because it's a day of prep.
Okay. So how long is the prep? Should we be prepping more? I mean, some of the decisions that were made on game day, you question these decisions all season long, but I guess this Sunday we won't need that because we're going to play this perfect game against Kansas State.
Let me ask you this
upcoming Saturday at 10 a.m.
Let me ask you this. Had he gone out fishing from 1 to 5,
I probably would have had a problem with it.
You would have?
Yes.
Oh man, you just tripping. You just
no, I'm not, man. I just know what this opportunity means for so many men that are involved in this business. And to say that, that you're gonna move things around to.
How do you know he moved anything around?
Okay, then I guess we got extra 7 hours in the day during the season, to go to do what we want.
Wow.
I don't agree with the move as a head football coach.
But as a dad,
as a dad, I love it. As a dad, I love it.
That's
as a head football coach. As a head football coach.
Just split the
baby.
I'm
just saying, man. CJ,
I'm happy and I'm sad at the same time.
No.
I'm gonna cry and I'm gonna laugh at the same time.
So I just want to make sure that if this was, let's just say this was Auburn or they're
Alabama,
having,
whoever.
No, let's say Auburn. Let's say Auburn. Let's say
Okay.
Auburn because they're not having a great year. They're on the cusp of possibly making a bowl game.
Mm-hmm.
If this was at Auburn and this was the head coach and Deion Sanders was at Auburn, would it still happen like that?
Oh, I think absolutely. See, here's the thing. Here's the thing that I've grown to appreciate, whether you like it or not. He is who he is, and he wears it on his sleeve. And the one thing that Deion is not, and I don't think has ever been, is a guy who's going to do things for the purpose of comforting others, whether it's right or wrong, whether you like it or not. I get it.
There's but CJ, you started the show off saying that Coach Prime said that he has to make some coaching decisions to improve the program.
That's absolutely
doesn't it always start with him?
Absolutely.
Okay, so that was a teaching moment right there for him. Professionally, that was a teaching moment. Don't take the bait and go watch a kid play.
Wow.
Stay with the program. Stay with this moment. Help these kids get through this last game so that we can finish the right way. That's my only thing that I would tell you that matters to me as a former Colorado Buffalo and a guy who really loves this. I love this game. Now I don't like this game. I don't like this game, man. I love this game, and some of the best people I know are still involved in this game, and I don't know not one of them that would have made that decision.
Let me ask you this. We never practiced on Sundays, right? We didn't come in. We did nothing on Sundays. It was a day off. It was only a day for players to get treatment if you needed treatment, right? Do you know what Bill McCartney did on Sundays?
Prep for the upcoming week.
Where?
I don't know.
Well, were you upset that it wasn't obvious to you? Had he shown up on television, let's say he did an interview, or I got one better for you. He may have been touring churches doing Promise Keepers work on Sunday. Would that have pissed you off as the same?
It depends. If that was a normal course of business, if that was a normal course of business that he had grown accustomed to, leading up to that, then I would say that is the way that they do business at the University of Colorado.
Well, how do you know?
Is this the way that we do business at the University of Colorado?
My point is, you don't know how they do business, and you're making a judgment on a decision.
I'm just telling you the optics. I'm telling you the optics.
Fine.
Okay, I'm just telling you the optics is that. So maybe every Sunday for this college football season, he's gotten on a jet, gone somewhere, and was gone for 7 to 8 hours and came back.
That may have been the case.
Well, then maybe that has to change.
But maybe. But I'm saying because changes has to be made, right? To your
changes.
Point.
He said it. I didn't say it. He said it.
He said it, and I think we all know that. But again, I think your argument boils down to this. Optically, you have a problem with it.
Yes,
substantively, you don't. This kind of reminds me, like I'm watching games with people, and it's always interesting to hear people say what teams, man, they shouldn't have run that play, or man, why did they do that? And I'm saying, you have no idea like what the mindset was because you didn't spend a minute of time in game prep and practice. So we have so limited knowledge of what actually goes on, but yet we make definitive
this is a new
opinions.
This is a new style of coaching. This is a new style of management in college football. This is for the most part, man, I've just kind of rolled with everything because I just needed to work. I'm not gonna lie to you. I just needed to work because I'm all in for a great day for the University of Colorado. I want those kids that wear that uniform to have fantastic days and even better futures after they're done. And I've bit my tongue on a lot of this shit, and then some of it I just said, man, this is unique. Like this is this is out of character for the position, or this is and I just said, okay, it's just how they're doing things. I just have to shut up and relax. But that yesterday, man, I just watching it, I was like, man, you should be with your team. You got your ass kicked yesterday. Maybe we're having some exit meetings with each one of the seniors, and maybe that did happen. I don't know, like you said. But at the same time, the optics of it was the head football coach of the University of Colorado was not with his team. He was with the Raiders.
He was with his son.
Browns.
He was with his son
watching a football game.
No, he wasn't with his team. He was with his son.
Okay,
that's okay, the optics from which
okay. I'm just letting you know, man. This was during the season. Urban Meyer did some shit like this, and he got fired by the Jacksonville Jaguars at the professional level.
No, he didn't get fired.
He stayed back away from. No, he wasn't with the team. Is the bottom line.
He was hanging out with.
Hanging out with a co-ed in Columbus. But
okay, that's a fireable offense.
I don't care about that. But the fact that he didn't travel back with the team,
it's probably not why he got fired. But that's besides the
he didn't travel back with the team.
That's besides the point.
He didn't travel back with the team. Nobody that's a head football coach doesn't travel back with a team. And I have never seen a head football coach go and support his kid while he was playing at the NFL level.
And once again, this is such an improbable, unusual circumstance that it's not a surprise that you haven't seen it. It doesn't matter.
Does it make it okay? Does it make it okay?
Here's my deal.
Does it make it okay? I need an honest answer from you.
I think it's okay.
Okay.
And I think there's room for people like you to disagree with me and say I have a different opinion. But I don't want to get holier than thou on it and say that.
Wait a minute, bro. I'm not holier than thou on it. It was just like, man, okay, a lot of this.
It was like, you feel some kind of way.
I feel some kind of way, bro.
Cool with
you know
that.
what I'm saying? I'm hurting for all these kids that didn't have the season that they should have had.
Hey, listen, man.
I'm hurting for them, man.
I don't want to
I'm hurting
belabor
for
this
them.
issue. I understand your point. I'm right there with you. I'm hurting for them as well. And I don't know that what we saw yesterday is out of school or out of
Was
line.
that good for the University of Colorado?
Maybe.
It
may have been some great 5-star athletes out there looking at that saying, man, that's Coach Prime. I want to visit.
Why didn't he go to Travis Hunter first game then?
Oh my God, man. Come
on.
I'm
just saying if it's good for listen, man, all I'm saying is this, okay?
Can I get to Thanksgiving?
Hold on, man. For the most part, what Coach Prime has brought to the University of Colorado has been lovely because he's brought revenue. He's brought cameras. He brought attention to the brand again, and it had been tarnished for so long. But you got to remember my point of view and my perspective, and it's an old one, and I get that, and it happened decades ago. But the last game that I played in was a national championship. That's the way I left the university, okay? So every time I see the university, I think that they're trying to get back to that, and maybe they are. But every attempt that I see from the athletic department has to be going in that same direction, and I'm not sure it always is.
Well, here's what I'd say. The way you were left off the field, the way we left off the field that night in Miami, has only happened one time in a history.
But it happened twice.
University.
But it happened twice for us, and we understand the commitment of the men that were part of that program. Those men became head coaches. They became athletic directors.
And to the point of this. Well, here's what I say. To the point of this conversation, we had no idea what Bill McCartney did on Sundays because we were never there. And so I don't want to be labored. Let's move on from that real quick, man, because we got to get out of here. Thanksgiving. What are your staples, man? What are your staples? Again, one of the best cooks, one of the best shade tree cooks I've ever seen.
The thing I always go for is a couple turkeys. Okay, gotta have a couple turkeys. You gotta have one smoked. Gotta have one fried. Okay, you gotta have a ham that's glazed. You gotta have. We try to do one beef. This year is going to be a brisket. Okay. This year we also got a couple slabs of ribs. Since we got a brisket, might as well make some ribs.
Might as well.
I mean, the brisket's not going to take the whole pit up, so you might as well throw a couple slabs of ribs on it. And then, of course, the mac and cheese and the greens and dirty rice.
Gotta have the yams.
Got the yams and the dirty rice, and it's gonna be lovely.
Now, one thing, I'm with you. I think our lists are consistent. I'm not so big on the turkey, but I do like a turkey, either fried or smoked. There's one thing, or let me ask you, is there one thing? First of all, I don't like people bringing stuff to my crib for Thanksgiving. I don't know. It's not a potluck. I'm setting it out. I don't bring your whatever the hell you bringing. The other thing is this: sweet potato pie is not pumpkin pie. Don't bring the pumpkin pie. I want that. And cornbread dressing is not stuffing. Keep the stuffing in the box at King Soopers. I'm all about that cornbread dressing. You cook that cornbread, you dry that thing out, and you make that cornbread dressing. And so those two things are must. But there's one thing that cannot show up at my house. I grew up with it, but it cannot show up at my house in any form or fashion. My brother made the mistake of walking in with the bowl of it one time, and we had a problem. Any idea what that is?
Food that he walked in, you had a problem with, a bowl of it. It had to have been, golly, I don't know. I would say like potato salad with raisins.
You cannot bring chitlins in the crib. You cannot bring chitlins in the crib, dog. No. And here's the thing: I grew up eating chitlins. I, eat them on special days, maybe twice a year. I just can't do it anymore at my age, bro. Chitlins are a no-no. Can't do it.
We don't do those in our house.
Yeah.
But my mom used to eat them. But I tell you the must-have, if we had to do a draft, what's the first pick in the Thanksgiving draft?
Ooh. Let's take the turkey. Let's take the proteins.
You gotta go. You gotta say a first pick.
All right, my first pick.
Now this is the win, not that you like, but I'm just saying in America, what's the first pick?
Oh, the turkey.
Okay,
the turkey, no doubt.
Well, you have the first pick. I'll take the second pick. I'll take the ham.
See, I think the ham is like the fullback where it's becoming obsolete in the league.
Okay.
The
Well, what's the third pick
the
then?
brisket, I think, is would be the second.
No,
for
no,
most
no,
people.
no, no, no. What in America? What's the first pick? It's the turkey, right?
Yep.
I'm saying the second pick is the ham.
Okay, I'm going. If that's the case, we got two proteins. The third pick is the macaroni and cheese, man.
No. Okay, you got the third pick as
Yeah.
a mac and cheese. I'm gonna make this right. The third pick should have been the mashed potatoes. The mashed potatoes should have been the third pick, but they're the fourth pick.
It's interesting because they're not necessarily even on my list. But you're saying for America, you're right. Mac and cheese. Not a lot of people do mac and cheese, unless, I think that's more of a cultural thing.
What's the fifth pick?
The fifth pick, I think it's, well, in my career, I can only speak for my career.
Yeah. Well, you got to.
I gotta have some collard greens, bro. Gotta have some greens.
That's not really that's not really the fifth pick.
I understand.
But I'll go with the sixth pick as the green bean casserole.
Ooh, see, yep. By the way, Michaela's bringing the green bean casserole.
My
daughter's the only one who can bring anything in the crib. Okay.
The seventh pick, man. Give me the
yams.
Candied yams. I'm gonna go with America's pick. Pumpkin pie.
Oh,
not my pick.
Party's over. Party's over. There goes the neighborhood. Hey,
it's not my pick.
By the way,
that's the eighth pick. We got to get to 10. We got to get 10. Give me the ninth pick, man.
Ninth pick. I'm gonna tell you what it is, and this is a staple.
Okay.
I gotta have like real cranberry sauce, bro.
Cranberry sauce. That's good.
I can't have the stuff in the can that you slice. I gotta have like real cranberry. It's like the glue. It's like the mortar between the bricks.
That's really good. That's going to be in everybody's top 10 is cranberry.
Absolutely.
Cranberry is something, whether it's the jelly form or whether it's the cranberries themselves.
Exactly.
And I'm going to say the 10th pick in this year's CJ and Big Al's Thanksgiving draft would probably have to be, oh man, it would have to be something for America. I'm going to say corn.
Corn. You do know corn digests differently.
I know.
Okay, so be careful with the corn. Hey man, what you thankful for real quick, man? We got to get out.
I'm thankful for my entire family. I'm thankful for my heritage. I'm thankful for the people that have put so much into me to get me to this point. And I'm thankful for my great friends. And I'm really thankful for my ability to still be able to dissect some things and make peace with those things that I can't digest. So I'm thankful for a lot.
That's good, man. I'm just thankful for all the wonderful memories that my family and my parents bestowed upon me for Thanksgiving. It was the Thanksgiving Day parade downtown Detroit. It was the Pontiac Silverdome, and going to games as a kid that my dad would take us to early, and we'd come back and have Thanksgiving dinner that mom prepared. I'm thankful for my wonderful friends. This guy right here, thankful for Big Al and the role that he's played in my life for almost 40 years and so many others. And I'm thankful for you all tuning into the show and giving us a reason to get up and prepare and do what we do on a daily. So for all of you, on behalf of this great show and my man, Big Al, I want to say happy Thanksgiving to you. Let's get back to it safe next week and get on
happy
that march
Thanksgiving.
towards get on that march towards Christmas. So for the show. And hey,
by the way, Black Friday. You figure it out.
Have a great